What's up, everybody, and welcome in to another edition of the Sit Down. As always, if you enjoy this live video, please make sure you hit the like button and let me know what you think of today's discussion in the comment section below, or make sure you say hello in the live chat if you're here catching us as we speak. If you're new around here, you just haven't done it yet, or you're living on a rock seeing this video for the first time, I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that subscribe button below now so you never miss another sit down video. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are here live on a Thursday, and I'm going to try to keep going live here on Thursdays. Try to do one live a week, couple of recorded videos, try to really crank up new content. I will tell you guys this, couple of things as we get started here. We're going to say hellos here in just a bit. I want to get into Vito Guzzo. I want to get into Gene Borello a little bit. Kind of a weird 6 degrees of separation with those two individuals. Then we're going to kind of open it up to some of your questions. So feel free to drop any questions you might have to me in the chat. Anything you might want to say, feel free to drop it in the chat. A couple things straight out of the gate. Check out my latest video on Vinny Ocean Palermo. Put that out on Tuesday. Already doing pretty well. Not a lot of videos on Vinny Ocean, so it was nice to get one out. Vinny Ocean is a really interesting guy, really interesting life. I'm going to start doing a lot more Jersey content. A lot of the connections they have to the Genovese, Lucchese, Gambino crime family. He's got another new, very involved guy with New York that was in New Jersey. Got that coming out on Saturday. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified at 3 o'clock when we release that on Saturday. But I'm going to be cranking out a lot more shorts. We recently were able to bring in a freelancer. Barstool is footing the tab for that, so that's appreciative. We're going to have a guy cranking out a lot of YouTube shorts, a lot of new TikTok content, a lot of new Instagram content. Really just going to enhance this show a lot, and I'm looking forward to it. So I think that's really going to crank out, just taking the show from, kind of the scratching the surface, breaking through. We're up near 40,000 subs. Really hoping to really crank out and get into some of the new content I want to do and really open the eyes to a lot of people of this channel. I know most of you guys that are here now are our most loyal, and I appreciate that. So let's say hello to some people here on a Thursday, checking in. And guys, I apologize for starting a little late. My dad called me right around like 1:58. We were chatting a little bit. Me and my dad always talk about the mafia when he calls me. We'll talk about like regular life for like a minute or two. How's the house? How's everything? Whatever. And then he gets into me and says, hey, I was watching a thing on Joe Messino last night. And then we started talking about him and all this different stuff. So it's always nice to have those conversations about that stuff with my dad. But here's to my love, says checking in YouTube for a possible sit-down episode as part of my daily routine. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You doing what you do at the level you do it is a major gift. Thank you, bro. That's super nice of you, man. Anytime I get those kind of comments, I really, I don't want to shed a tear, but I kind of want to shed a tear because that is, to me, the reason I do this. This is the reason I have a passion for this. And anytime I can kind of put it out there to the masses, when people recognize that, it means a lot. You're the reason that the channel has been able to grow. And it really means a lot to me. So I thank you for those kind words, man. Or lady. I don't know. I guess by that name, I don't really know, but thank you. It means many things to me. What's up, Gray? How are you? Devin Stibe says, back at it like a jackrabbit. What up, Devin? I don't think I've seen you here. Welcome in, my man. How you doing? Scott Dunn was good. Big Tasty, finally able to catch it live. What up, Big Tasty? Welcome in, man. Mo, Gene is not smart. Guzzo's not smart enough to go straight. And how is Gene just skating? He's cooperating more. Well, do you have any proof of that, or are you just saying that? Guys, listen, I know Gene's a rat. We all know that, but let's not jump to conclusions. Look, Gene cooperated. He's always going to get the benefit of the doubt with the federal judges. Look at Sammy, prime example. Okay. If Sammy didn't cooperate, and let's say he gets arrested for selling ecstasy, he probably gets a lot more than the time he did. These guys are always going to get the benefit of the doubt. A lot of them get third, fourth, fifth chances. Look at Robert Rosso. Robert was able to do not 1, not 2, not 5, but 10 Vassar violations before he was arrested. I mean, they get the benefit of the doubt sometimes. Now, Robert's not a rat, but Robert is a guy who is going to be given a longer leash. Look, I think contrary to what a lot of people think, they don't have the room for a lot of these people in prison. Like they're going to do what they can, and if you're a cooperator, you're going to get more benefit of the doubt. I don't think he's skating. They gave him 4 extra months. I don't think they look at what he did as they can prove it, or they just kind of threw it out, hoped it would stick. They were able to keep him for a couple more months. Maybe he'll wise up. But that's how they look at it. They're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I do want to talk about Vito Guzzo quickly here. And we'll kind of talk about the same in Gene as well. For anyone that doesn't know, Gene Borello was given an extra 4 months on top of the 6 months he's already serving. Gene's been in prison since February of 2023. He's going to get out right around early fall. And he's added 4 months to his sentence due to some of his behavior in Florida. Judge Block, as I said, gave him the benefit of the doubt, didn't add much more time. And when Gene gets out in early September and October, he's going to be off of paper. So he can essentially do and move however he wants. He can go on the internet. He can cooperate and hang out with who he wants. He can hang out with felons. It really doesn't matter. He can do what he wants at this point. And, no one's going to be watching over him at this point. So we'd have to imagine Gene's going to come home and, start going on the internet again. That's something he enjoyed doing. And that is something that got him into trouble. But I guess for him, he looks at it as, if he has the right people around him, I think he could have some success on here. I think he definitely needs a role model. He needs to grow up, as I've talked about time and time again. But we'll see what happens with Gene. But he's going to have to cool his heels for a couple of more months longer. Summer, he'll get out. Hopefully the car wash lets him back. I guess we'll see. But I do want to mostly talk about Vito Guzzo, who, interestingly enough, has a connection to Gene Borello. Vito Guzzo actually killed and admitted to killing Gene Borello's cousin, a guy called John Barello. Johnny Boy Borello was a car thief, Gambino associate, pretty formidable individual in his own right. From what I understand, John Borello was pretty feared as well. And look, a lot of these guys moved around in the same kind of areas. Long story short, John Borello became a bit of a rival to Vito due to the fact that John Borello was dating a woman called Lisa Sellers, who Vito at one point had dated. From what I understand, there was some beefs on the street between the two, and John Borello was killed by Gene. In fact, the gun was supplied by Michael Cookie D'Urso. Cookie would become a rat down the road, was a Genovese associate, wore a mic in his Rolex watch. Kind of an interesting story. But a lot of 6 degrees of separation. Gene actually talked about that when I interviewed him about a year ago. So Vito wants to come home. For anyone that doesn't know who Vito Guzzo is, I've done a video on him. You can find it in the library. It's called The Worst of the Worst, I believe. I've done a lot of videos on the Giannini kids, Paul Ragusa, Ace Aiello. We interviewed Frank. Obviously Vito. The one thing about Vito that a lot of people don't know is he was not an original friend to the Giannini crew. He was actually from another neighborhood, and he started hanging around with the Giannini crew in the 90s. The original Giannini crew was Frank, Paul Ragusa, Ace Aiello, Tabita, Pipitone, some of those guys. They all started running around in Ridgewood, Middle Village. Vito comes hanging around by the 90s. Vito was already a pretty formidable guy. Vito's father was a Colombo-made man, Vito Guzzo Sr. In the 80s, Vito Guzzo Sr. was killed by the mafia. In 92, Vito takes retribution by shooting at a car in Queens containing the guy who he believed had killed his father. During the shooting, he kills Anthony Messi, a mobster, and Vinny Unions is shot and gets away. He then, starts getting involved with the Giannini crew, starts moving drugs, starts robbing drug dealers. In the end, kills and admits to killing 5 people, Vito Guzzo. And as I've said before, Vito Guzzo would take on one of the most unbelievable plea agreements of all time. I've had to explain this to many people. How does he admit to killing 5 people? And for Guzzo, it was very simple. He essentially said, I killed John Borello. I killed Ralph Shula. Now, Ralph Shula was a member of the Giannini crew. He had gotten too big for his own head, started acting stupid, and they killed Ralph Shula. Shot him in the head. Guzzo just straight up admitted it. Got 38 years. He's been in jail since the late 90s. Now, Vito recently has been involved in a couple of things in prison. Supposedly, he was made behind the wall inside a bathroom. Also in 2015, he was involved at Danbury in a violent altercation between mobsters and several Albanians. I talked about this in the Alex Rudai Albanian episode I did a couple of weeks ago. A couple of Albanians were assaulting a older guy in prison that the gangsters really liked. Vito was one of the guys that took an issue with it, and with a couple other guys, including Neil Lombardo and Michael Rockefort and a couple of others, they got into a scrap with the Albanians. Vito was involved allegedly in that. But for the most part, he's been pretty quiet behind the wall. Well, what he's been trying to do up until several days ago is petition for early release. According to him, he's a senior citizen. Now, the problem is we all know Vito's in his late 50s. Now, as far as I know, that's not senior citizen. They want, and his people want, early release. It was revealed this week, though, that he would not be getting early release. So he's going to have to cool his heels for a couple of more years. He's eligible for release in 2028, so about 5 years from now, where he'll be, I believe, 63. His current release date is November of 2028. So he will join the long list of gangsters that will get out. And this has happened a lot recently. Andrew Campos got out. Tommy Schatz got out. There's been a lot of guys recently released. Now, the age-old question is, do they go back to that world or do they move on to greener pastures, right? Do they get regular jobs? Do they retire? What do they do? Now, it's always the age-old question. What are you coming home to, right? I mean, the mob is not what it was when Vito went away. The mob in 1998 was a lot different than where it is in 2023, especially the Colombo crime family. The Colombo crime family is in ruins. Now, Vito Guzzo, if he decides to come home and go back into that world, would look at it one of two ways. He could look at it as, A, the family's a mess, and I don't want to be involved with it. I'm just going to go do something normal with my life and try to find a way. I have money stashed, or he has some family that will help him. The problem is his half-brother's in the mob, Anthony, the Lucchese guy. All he knows is crime. It's what he was built on. It's what he was raised on. His father was a mobster. Everybody around him was a mobster. He was a violent and depraved guy, Vito was. So the thought is he'll come home and say, well, it's in ruins, but that means that I can probably take it over. Vito's kind of interesting because he's a Queens guy. And if you know anything about the Colombos, they're not really Queens-based. They had a couple of guys, but his mentor, Fat Patty, he's gone. Fat Patty's long gone. Benny Alloy, his father's guy's long gone. Colombos really aren't much in Queens anymore. And you look at the upper echelon of the Colombo crime family, they're all under indictment or in jail. Teddy Persco's under indictment. The three guys that you got to watch out for in that family are Joe Waverly, Vito, and Tommy Schatz. I don't know what his standing would be because I know Tommy Schatz was writing a blog in prison. So, I don't really know what his standing would be. They're both pretty old. Vito is, in mob circles, pretty young. I mean, 63 in mob circles is pretty young, considering most of them are 70s, 80s, 90s, right? There's a family that's a mess, but maybe he looks at it and says, well, okay, we have what we have here, but I can move in certain ways now and find my way like the Genovese or another family has done. They have to hope people like this work out, because if people like Vito Guzzo go straight or are not effective and go back to prison, you have to really look at the Colombo crime family and say, what exactly will work here? Because time is catching up with them and the federal government has put them in ruins. Their whole echelon at the hierarchy is under indictment right now. Di Matteo, Costellazzo, Teddy Persco, Mush Russo's dead. Waverly, if he crosses the street the wrong way, is going to jail and is in his 80s. Tommy Schott, same thing. Guys, the government never stopped looking at these people, and this is the problem. This is why when I hear like, oh, the mob's going to make a comeback or the mob's powerful, and it's like, no, they're not. Because A, nobody in the streets actually respects them as far as the criminal totem pole, and B, the government has done a fucking job on the mob. They just have. And I know there are these like fun-loving people that love the mob and they're always around, but it's like, no, they're not. No matter how you slice it. Let's hear what some of you guys think. And I'm sorry I didn't get to all you guys. Sean out west, what's up? Curtis Cardwell says, good to catch you. I do keep up with all your shows. Too many thunderstorms here, though, today. It shut down my stretching wire on my new fence line. Great timing. Well, I hate to hear that. For any of you guys that don't know, Curtis Cardwell lives in remote Montana, lives in a very remote area. I have to admit, Curtis, send me an email, please. We've got to figure out a time for me to come out there. I'm actually going out to Vegas, guys. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. I'm going to tell you guys about what I got coming up in Vegas, which is going to be pretty cool for the show. But Curtis, I would love to come see you at some point. I think that would be fascinating. If you guys would like to donate to the channel, feel free to send in a super chat. It definitely goes a long way. If you want to cash at me, I do a lot of content. I don't ask for much. If you'd like to cash at me, there's my cash app. Donations go a long way because for me, guys, I'm trying to earn a contract, my second contract at Barstool, and we do pretty well here on the channel. But I want to kind of show them that I can create revenue and I can do things. And I'm very proud of you guys, and I thank you for being there. If you'd like to give to the channel, I would appreciate anything. I know I remember one guy in the comments called him Jeff, living under a rock, Nadu. Not sure how I felt about that. Yeah, it sucked. I hated that nickname. But it's fun to chat about it. What do I think about what's going on in Canada? Yeah, there's a lot going on. Very active, Canada. Very active. I saw a woman was recently killed up there that was connected to that group. I got to start getting into some Canada stuff soon. Maybe in the summer we'll start doing more up there for sure. Gino Kid, what up? Says, happy to catch you live. I have my own mafia name, Gino Stuffed Peppers. How about that? I'm a big stuffed pepper kind of guy myself when it comes to food. Thank you for watching, Gino. Tony Flores, what up, Jeff? Great content. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Henry J, hello from Trenton. Your podcast got me through time at a halfway house last year. Thank you, Henry J. Much love to you, my friend. I hope your life is turning around. And if you ever need any help, I'm here for you, bro. Thank you for the kind words, man. Trapaholics, my guy. What up? Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. Everything's good. Yeah, I just had the painter here, right? So the builder I have offers a very cool thing. Within 30 days of moving in, they give you one complimentary paint voucher where they come and they touch up anything that might have got scuffed during the move or whatever. So they came and did their thing, which was cool. So yeah, I'm definitely, I'm about a week here. I've been tomorrow will be 1 week since I moved in. So got everything hooked up, did my first loads of wash, and I love it. I feel great. I'm going to start really kind of doing some things next week with trying to plant a garden and get some tomatoes planted, things like that. So I love it here. It's my own happy place. What up, Stuart? Thank you, bro. Yeah, I really got a lot of love on the Vinny Ocean video. I really thought that was really well done. It was one of the favorite episodes I've done. So I'm glad you guys liked it. John says, hello from South London. What up, South London? Welcome in, my man. I love the international people. Better times. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for your recommendation on the White Boy Rick documentary. Yes, it's a great one. Yes, he is in trouble again. Thank you for watching, Alp. That's a beautiful dog there in your picture. Thank you, Patsy. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. What up, James? Thank you, bro. Caesar, my man. I don't know that I'm a god, but I thank you. Finally on a live. Keep it up, homie. Best content out there. Thank you, Ryan Rodenkirch. I appreciate that. I think what's good about our show is I noticed that the demographics are mostly like people that are like, they have lives, right? I will admit, what's weird about our show is we don't have a lot of 18 through 25-year-olds that watch it, right? Our demographics are 30 and up, which is great. So, guys, people like Ryan, Caesar, what I ask you to do is very simple. Show love on the show, comment, tell your friends, tell people you think that might like it, share the word of the show. That's how we grow. And if you can, you have some interest in some of the people that advertise on our show, go check them out. Please, it's very helpful for me. Building a brand is so hard, and keeping the brand is so hard, and keeping the content free. This is how you do it. Supporting lives, giving what you can, hitting the like button. It's a lot of it effortless. It doesn't take anything. And a lot of the products that I advertise are very helpful to people. Fitbod, go get the app, guys. I use it. You have to have a complimentary thing when you work out. Doing things like that are ways you can help the show. Going and getting a subscription with Fitbod, down there, using our code, buying razors from Harry's, like all that stuff is very practical, and it really helps me and helps what I'm trying to do here, guys. So, people like you that are being here, Ryan, I appreciate you guys so much. You're great at this stuff, Jeps. Easy to listen to and absorb. That's the goal to Tone. Telling you it in layman's terms. None of us are lawyers. We don't have certain background. It's about telling it easily. 210 people in here. Welcome in. What's your questions? Feel free to let me know. What up, Joey? What up? Trevor Mulligan says, best crime mafia channel I've watched. Thank you, bro. Thank you. That's so nice of you. Maceo, New York City. Look at that picture. Eyebrows boy, AJ Soprano. I love it. Thank you, bro. Thank you. What up, P Gunna? Where's the Biggie pick? It's actually in the mail, bro. I sold both of them to listeners of the show that wanted them. I wanted to kind of spruce it up, change it around a little bit. But I had to say goodbye. I said bye to a lot of things, JP Gunna, when I moved. I had tracksuits that I used to work out in that I lost on my weight in. It was time to say goodbye to certain things. You got to be willing to bid adieu. I don't want to be a hoarder. Vinny episode was fire. Thank you, bro. Thank you. When the feds want you, they'll get you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Vinny Boombots, my man. How you doing? I appreciate you joining me, Vinny Boombots. By the way, that reminds me. I want to discuss something Vinny Boombots sent me. Anytime people send me stuff, I try to show love on it. Vinny had sent me a message about a kid that he knew that was going through some health problems, and kind of just wanted me to put that out there to people. I want to find the email here. Let me find it here. Hold on a second. I was wondering if you can make a mention for a young autistic man, a close friend who is more like a son to my wife and I. She's taught him in school since he was 3 years old. He had a seizure last week and hit his head, and he's been brain dead on life support since, and is being taken off at some point for organ harvesting. He was one of the first to learn how to communicate and have his voice heard via spelling. He's a trailblazer in that regard and helped others to gain the confidence to try the same. His name is Nicholas Diamora. He is from Staten Island, New York. I hope all is well with you. If you could mention him, it would mean a lot to me. So I wanted to mention him. I don't know the current situation. This was sent about a week ago. Vinny sent it to me. But I want to say, I hope he is okay. Please let me know, Vinny, what's going on. I bless people like that. I'm so, knock on wood, happy that I don't have any health problems, at least so far. And as someone who is dealing with that in his own family right now, none of this shit really means anything in the end. This is what means stuff. Your family, people that are close to you, people that you'll remember your whole life. Like I'm going to a family party on Saturday. That's stuff that really matters. And when you have people like this that mean something to you, it's always sad when the end comes. So, Vinny, I wish your friend adieu, and I pray for you and him and his family. Thank you, Rich M. I appreciate that. What up, Bob? Thanks for watching, man. No zoning out when you speak. No, I don't zone out, man. I'm pretty good with that, I feel like, at this point, Richard. Thank you for noticing it. Mike Primo, what up, man? How you doing, Mike? What up, Mob Rats? What's going on? Shot a guy in the dome, applies for early release. Shot 5 guys in the dome, for being honest. And by the way, Vito Guzzo, in one instance, right? Him and Anthony Sciacca and a couple other guys kidnapped and robbed 2 guys, and tried to steal their stash. Shot him in the head. They weren't dead, so they lit him on fire. It's kind of guys the Giannini crew was. They're very brutal people, very brutal individuals. Thank you, Stuart. Appreciate that. Shines, what up? How are you, bro? Thanks for watching. Joe Waverly is still around. Yeah, but he's 80s ish. No TikTok in Montana. Well, I think that's true. I guess it's banned, isn't it? Huh? That's a good point. Joseph DeCesare says, there he is. How you doing? What up, bro? How are you? Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. What's up, Greg? Salute from Fairfax. What up, Greg? How are you? All right, so Vegas. I'm going to Vegas in late July. The 24th, I'll be out there. And I'm going to see Mike DeBella. Let me tell you something about Mike DeBella, okay? And I don't know if Mike's here, but I'm going to shout him out. Let me tell you a couple of 3 things about Mike DeBella. We did not get off on the right foot. I was a little deep in, not doing my research initially. I started looking into Mike, had some very interesting phone conversations. Mike's a very interesting guy, and we're going to tell his story. So I say to Mike, I said, look, Mike, I talk to people. I've talked to you. I'd like to speak to you. Do you want to come on my show? You've been rarely heard from anybody. And Mike's got a wild business in Vegas, does a big businessman, really interesting guy. So I say to Mike, I'd like to interview you. And he says, okay, but I want you to come see me. And I said, well, I don't get out to Vegas much, Mike. You're not like in Virginia or Maryland or New York. So he says, you got to come out. I have a studio out here. We'll hook it up. I'll take you around town. It's Vegas. He said, I'll get you the flight. Will you come out? I said, done. So I'm going to go hang out with Mike. I'm going to link up with another guy out there that I know that lives in the area. And we're going to do some content. We're going to sit down with Mike. We're going to hear his story. Mike knows so many people, has a very interesting life. Mike's uncle was Tom DeBella. Just a very interesting guy. Moved around in the trash business, knew a lot of guys, was connected with a lot of people, and we're going to speak to Mike. So that'll be fun. So if you're in the Vegas area, you want to link up, get in touch with me. Make sure you let me know. If you're going to check out the Mob Museum, probably. Russ5287. What's up, Russ? How are you, bro? Good afternoon to you. Who's the boss of the Gambino crime family now? Is Dom Shaflu the boss? Menino's front? What about Genevieve? We've talked about that, Micah Cannon. Go check out my latest video, The Current State of the Mafia in America. We did it about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It's on my page. We talked about all that and more, not just the 5 families. Talked about all the families. 2-3 years, the Colombo family could be defunct. I don't know about that. There's always been people around, but it's definitely struggling for sure. I was always surprised Cleveland didn't last that long. Yeah, a lot of those families just disappear. Now Cleveland's a totally different town. Michael Belmonte, what's up, Michael? Matt Huey, what's up, brother? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You're 3 hours from Vegas. Well, I'll be there starting the 24th of July. So come down, bro. The QAnon kid killed the late Gambino boss. Yes, Camelo, correct. Roman Casciani, I've done a video on that as well. Roman Casciani says, congrats on the new house, my favorite podcast and show. Roman, what up? Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And I'm guessing you're pretty young, which is nice in the fact that you watch the videos, because a lot of young kids don't necessarily watch the videos. Brooke Lynn, how are you, love? I'm glad you're having a nice day. Thank you for joining me here. Jameson Bernhardt says, Guzzo's a scary dude. Yes, he is. He's definitely a scary dude. Guzzo is, I think out of all the farm team guys, the most depraved lunatics were Guzzo, Dino Calabro, and I don't know, probably, it's interesting. I've heard a lot of people say that one of the most depraved guys was the young Peter Gotti. A lot of people have said. not the uncle Peter, the son of John Peter. We've heard a lot of people say that on here. Muddy Joe says, I'm 21. What up, Muddy Joe? Glad you're here. I like that young people are interested in this thing. What's up, Tone Seca? Finally caught it live. Keep up the hard work and great content. Always, Tone. Always. Thanks for watching, bro. Chris Parks, good luck on the big interview. The new setup looks good. Thank you, Chris. Yes, that's another announcement. I was asked by a major actor to come to his home to interview him, and we're going to do it. We're in the process of setting it up right now. Barstool's sending me a videographer with me, and we're going to go up and do it. When it's going to come out, I'll let you guys know, but it's going to come out soon. And I promise you, it is going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Also, next week, I haven't told you guys about this yet. I've done 109 audio episodes of the Sit Down, and most of them are on YouTube. Most recent one was Vinny Ocean. Next week, I am doing an interview. I'm interviewing him on Tuesday. I will tell you right now, he is the most interesting person I will ever interview, at least to me so far. Just saying. Very few people know who this guy is. He is not a mobster, but he is part of one type of organized crime. And I promise you, his prison exploits, his life growing up, his story is fascinating. And let me give you a hint. Maybe you'll remember or know who I'm talking about here. If anybody guesses who I'm going to interview next week, I will say who it is. The individual's life is based on, to me, a top 10 movie of all time. He was the real life portrayal of the character, the main character. All right. A lot of comments here. Big Tasty, what up? Thank you for watching. I'm glad that your wife now knows who certain mobsters are. Ian Heslop, what's up? Have I ever done a video on Jimmy the Weasel? No, I haven't. Maybe some point I will. Absolutely, P-Gun, a new beginnings. Well, listen, Trapaholics, we're going to link then. DM me. We'll link, bro. What picture is that? What picture is what? I'm not sure what you mean. Richard Martocci says, Jeff, I really like the D. I don't know what that means, but I don't know what you're saying there. I don't know if you're saying something different there or what, but maybe it's a mistype. Richard, what's up? Prayers to them. Exactly. No problem, Vinny. Vinny, thank you so much. He passed last Thursday. I'm sorry to hear that. Rest in peace to Nick, man. Rest in peace. Send me a photo of him. Maybe we can post it up. I'm very sorry, Vinny. But you know what? At least he made a blaze of and a trail for people, and he can help people. That's all you can ask for, I guess. Rest in peace to Nick, man. If you ever need any art, hit me up. I got a website. Razio, that's funny you say that. I would love to know. Feel free to email me, the sitdown777@gmail.com. Let me put that in the chat box. The sitdown777@gmail.com. I'd love to see your work. I'd be happy to not only buy something, but promote it if you're good, which I'm sure you are. He's kept on life support in order to donate 8 of his organs. Well, that's great, given the circumstance. His memory will be a blessing to many, I'm sure, Vinny. What are your thoughts on Tough Teddy Rowe? Definitely was a tough dude. I mean, if you don't know who Teddy Rowe is, he was essentially a king of numbers in Chicago. And the outfit muscled him out of the numbers racket, most notably Sam Giancana. He was a tough SOB. And I think Sam Giancana even said that. He was a black numbers runner. Ran with the Joneses and some of those guys, made huge money. Really drove them out of town. He was the next in line, Tough Teddy, but the outfit was king back then. And that's how it goes, bro. Shines, what is your opinion on Chaz Palminteri playing the Chin in a movie about his life? I think it would be an epic film. In my opinion, Chaz would consider it. I think if there would be a film about the Chin, I think he'd be the exact person that would play him, 100%. Chaz is a great actor, great director too, for that matter. Just very good in general at entertainment. His one-man show is fascinating. Really interesting content creator as well. I met Chaz once many years ago at Memories in Margate. He was close to Jerry Blavitt. He probably wouldn't remember it, but Chaz is at like a top 5 person that I would like to speak to. Like he's top 5. He actually responded to me on Twitter once, which was kind of a cool thing for me. The Bronx Tale is my favorite film ever. I've said that many times. I love it. I patterned a lot of my life off of it. I think he's incredible. I think he would be great as Chin. I would love that. He was actually great in Bullets Over Broadway as well. A lot of people don't give him that respect. Chaz was great. Absolutely, Tatone. Absolutely. Makes you grateful for what you got. Absolutely. Absolutely. All that stuff does. You really kind of realize that when you see certain things, man. Who is my video on Saturday going to be about? I don't usually answer this question, but I will answer today. The video is on Bobby Cabert, Robert Bisaccia, Gambino captain for the family in New Jersey. That was from Belleville. Bobby Cabert. A lot of people know who he is. So yeah, we're gonna do a video on him. That'll be out Saturday. We need a Guzzo movie. Yeah, Gene Crew movie would be great, or even a documentary, which we've done. Who do I have tonight? Celtics or Heat? I'm leaning towards taking the Celtics, the Heat plus the points. I think it'll be a close game. I think the Celtics will find a way, though. There he is, Mike DeBella. Thank you, bro. $50, you the man. In fact, Mike, you are sending two $50 donations. But listen, Mike is such a giving guy. I don't deserve it, but Mike, him and I talk a lot. Mike really understands business. I think he gets it. And is an interesting guy, man. He has a great life, lives on the strip in Vegas. Got a really interesting business as well. I'm looking forward to speaking to him, and it's going to be cool to do it in person as well. So, looking forward to that. Thank you, Mike. $100, it's too much, but I thank you. Anybody that donates and shows love in what we're doing, it means the world to me. Edward Everett, what's up, Edward Everett? And Mike, by the way, you better take me some good restaurants. I like good food, so I'm looking forward to that. Hope everything's well, EE. Thank you so much. Ask Mike about Joe Franklino. Of course, I'm going to ask him about that. Has Mike DeBella ever returned anyone's garbage? It's a good question. That's a good question. Do some Calabrian stuff, please. Maybe at some point. I wish I could. Not a lot of people care much about the Italian mob, the actual Italian mob, but I probably will anyway. I love talking about the Camorra and Calabria and stuff. Is Lou DeBella, the boxing promoter, related to Mike DeBella? According to Mike, Lou DeBella is his second cousin. Have ever read the book Takedown? I actually just ordered it. I've read excerpts from it. I don't have it in my collection, though. So what I'm going to do, guys, is behind my right shoulder, right here, I'm going to put a bookshelf right below this portrait, like a standing one. I'm going to put all the books there. So just to kind of fill the room out a little bit. So that'll be added to the collection. If you would see, I actually have like 12 books right to the right of me right now. And then in that closet right there, right here, I have more books. So Joe Francolino took over after Jimmy Brown. Yes, he did. He was his right-hand man, bro. Dude, I would just love to meet you and Mike just to say hi, not to be on the show. We'll set it up, bro. I'm going to set it up for everybody. If you want to meet me, we'll do a little meet and greet. We'll have a dinner. If you are going to be near in Vegas and you want to come hang out with me, just reach out. We can set it up. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. They are psychos, some of them, for sure. Yeah, Mike worked with Phil Beretti. Phil Beretti, look, a lot of people don't know Phil Beretti. Phil Beretti was a gargantuan in the trash business. Gargantuan. Moved to the beat of his own drum. I would love and can't wait for you to interview Chuck Zito and Danny Trujillo. I'd love to speak to Chuck Zito. That would be awesome. If anybody knows Chuck, let me know. Jeff, you're the man on the mighty Mississippi River. Thank you, David Potter. Appreciate that, my man. Thank you for watching. Demetrius Mullis says Phil Leonetti. No, it's not Phil Leonetti. It's not Joey Pistone either. What's good? Hope you're having a great day, bro. Thank you, Michael. Same to you. Same to you. All good, Richard. All good. I figured you didn't mean that you liked D. You know what D is. Joseph DeStefano says, what's up? Love the show. I'm curious if you're going to ever do an episode about Salvatore Avellino. Yes, and Carmine Avellino, for sure. Nicholas, Joe Franklino married Anna Lino, related to the Linos from Gravesend. Yes. Listen, the Linos, as I said on the Eddie Lino show, I could probably and will probably do an episode on their entire bloodline because there's like through marriage and like a lot of people don't know. So like Eddie Lino, he was involved with the Castellano hit. He was one of the main 4 shooters. He would shoot Bellotti on the left side of the car, the driver's side. Alongside of him was Sal Scala, Fat Sal. Fat Sal was married to Eddie Lino's sister, a woman called Susan, who at one point, Eddie Lino, or not Eddie Lino, was it? Who was it? Was it Eddie Lino? Whoever. I think it was Bobby or one of the Linos tried to kill the guy who was selling her drugs at one point. Frank Lino, I think, did that. The guy did a video on him. There's also these mob guys, like whether it's the Pernas or like the Jersey family with all the different capos and rotundos, and you got to have a mind. Listen, we knock Lee Cole, for instance, right? People knock Lee. He's not good with names. It's not easy to pronounce these names as you're doing a show and like remembering them all. It's not easy, guys. This is so hard. That's why when like someone comes in my comments and I do like an incredible video and they take out one little thing that I misspoke on and like point it out, it bothers me. Because it's like, do you know how hard it is to do this? And a lot of people realize when you see like this photo go up, I'm clicking that as I'm speaking to you, as I'm looking into the camera. Some people say I read a script. I can show you there's no teleprompter here. Someday I'm going to install a camera and show you it's not easy. So it's like we get on Lee Cole like for forgetting names and stuff or not pronouncing names. Sometimes these names are not easy. Like I had someone mention to me that Vito Guzzo is pronounced Guzzo, which I don't believe is true, but you know, some people get on you. It's Messina or Messina or we all speak differently, but like it's hard, man. It's hard. And getting like some of these families, like the Linos, Eddie, Robert, Bobby, Frank, Grace, there's all these different people. And sometimes they'll name like their kids after them, and it's like Junior and the third. There's so many things. It's crazy. The Gottis, the men in the Gottis is extremely confusing, right? Because you have John Sr., you have John Jr. Now, John Jr. has a son called John. Peter was the uncle. John had a son. John Sr. had a son called Peter. Peter would have a son called John as well. Like, there's so many names. Like, that's the thing about these. In Goodfellas, when they say there were so many Peters and Pauls that you made your head spin, it's true. These Italian families, literally, a son will name his son John, then a brother will name his, like, and by the way, Victoria has a son called John as well. So it's like you have so many Johns throughout the family. It's crazy. Jeff the Mafia Professor, how's life treating you? Life is great, man. Life is great. How's everything with you? Justin Mason says, what's up, Jeff? What up, Justin Mason? How are you? Joey just passed. Yes, he did. Armand DeSante, maybe. You have to wait and see. Another favorite of mine. Yeah, guys, I don't know why people keep mentioning Michael Franzese. I may interview him at some point, but he wasn't in any films. I don't know why people keep mentioning him. Maybe we'll interview Michael at some point, but he is not who I'm talking about in this case. No. I hope the new move went well and you're doing good. Thank you, bro. Yes, it did. It went very well. Bobby Cabert was a hitter. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Larson Game says, loved the Vinny Ocean episode. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, I really enjoyed it myself. Lahayim Putz. I love that name. What's up, Lahayim? How you doing? How's everything? 230 people in here. Welcome in. The show keeps going up. Hit the like button as you join us here. I got to admit, guys, I might just stay on. If you guys are here, I'm going to keep talking to you. So keep dropping comments, keep participating, get your questions answered. If you want to ask me about anything, you want to donate, you want to do whatever you want, ask away. This is your opportunity to ask me anything. So go ahead. And as long as we keep getting more people in here, I'm going to keep speaking to you. It's pretty simple. Would you ever consider doing an episode about the New Haven Mafia? I don't know. Again, Justin, it's not that I don't want to do these kind of shows, these smaller families, but I only have so many days out of the week to do episodes. And on my main page, I got to do episodes people are going to watch. I was considering, I have a members only part of this. If I get like 50 people to join the members only, I might consider doing like requested videos where I might start doing smaller families. But it's hard because I only have so much time, you know. Maybe I'll do one specific person, but a whole family show, I don't know. Maybe. Mike DeBella, there he goes again, another 50. Mike, you're starting to get to the territory of that. Remember that one guy, guys, he used to come in here? Mike, listen to this. This was probably a year ago, 8 to 12 months ago. For like a 3-week period, I was doing lives. Frank Fiorellino, remember this guy. I don't know if you guys remember this guy's name. I forget his name. It was a fake name for sure. He would come in here for a 2-week period, and that was it. And then he disappeared. And I think I might have did 5 live shows. He would donate between $600 and $1,000 every show, just dropping $100 tips. Like that guy, if I had one guy like that and would just do that, or a couple of guys do that all month, we would live in infamy on this channel. And we would get all the resources from Barstool and everything would work well. But Mike, thank you so much. Anybody that donates, I hold in esteem. I hold everyone in esteem in general, but people don't realize how hard it is to be a content creator. And I welcome that you realize it. Thank you. We're going to eat very well. I look forward to it. I look forward to it, brother. It just seems too obvious. And Jeff's already said the guy isn't well known. Oh, you're talking about the guy on Tuesday? Yeah, it ain't. You ain't going to get him. You ain't going to get him. Did I ever read the Pleasant Ave connection? Yeah, I actually did an TikTok recently on Fat Gigi, Louis Inglesi. He was part of the Pleasant Ave group. Do a Jack Legs Diamond episode. I will. We'll do an episode of him on the podcast at some point. Jeff, what is your favorite foods? My favorite meal ever is rigatoni with meatballs and sausage, or rigatoni with veal. You know, I love sushi. I eat pretty well for the most part. Again, when I'm on like a vacation or on a trip, I eat a little different. When I'm at home, I try to eat pretty normal. You know, I eat, a lot of chicken and stuff like that. But when I'm on a trip or something, I have a little bit more fun. So good meals just in general. I'll try anything. Have you ever heard of doing a show on a guy called Jose Battle? Yes, the Belita trade. I'm very familiar with him. Absolutely. Definitely coming for sure. We're going to do something on Spanish Raymond Marquez as well. I love your show. I've always been fascinated with the mafia. Have you ever even ran my tribe of Latin kings like the mob back in the day? No shit. You were a Latin king? If you'd ever like to speak to me, let me know. Surf and turf. Surf and turf's great. Good meal. I hear the Calabrians are more vicious than any other Italians. Yes, they feed people to pigs. Absolutely. Guzzo and Lino and a couple others kicked Albanians' ass. They defended an old man. I've heard that. Salute, Jeff. In my opinion, how did Chicago manage to keep the hierarchy under one family? I know they function as silo crews nowadays, but it's interesting they never became more than one family. That's a good point, Marco. I'm always I think of that myself. It's a good point. I guess they just had a lot of power. That's a good point. Maybe kind of like New York, but yeah, that's true. I never thought about it like you're mentioning it, but it is interesting to think about. I don't know. I guess they were just they had like factions and they all just kind of stayed under one group. Martirano. He is not the guy I'm interviewing on Tuesday, though I am in touch with his people to interview him. I'm talking about George Martirano. No, he's not the guy or John Martirano, maybe. No, that's not who it is. No, neither were based on a film either. Are you interviewing Johnny Depp about George Young? No, I wish. No, that's not it. No. I'm in high desert near USP Victimville. Wow. You're in high desert? You imagine someone asks you where you live and you say, I'm from high desert. That just sounds like, if you're in California, you're a high desert. It's like, that just sounds like a tough place. Victorville, like that's the gutter, man. That's barren wasteland out there, man. Joe, you come meet me. We'll have a good time. Getting you and Scott together is like watching Siskel and Ebert. Well, thank you. Thank you, man. That's very nice of you. Tatone says, I have a hard time chatting on my iPad, let alone starting a show. Mod own. Yeah. A lot of people say that. Hey, what up, War? Good seeing you last night. I hope all is well, man. Peter has one son named Peter, but yeah, it's confusing. Yeah, it is. Are you interviewing a mob boss called Dana White? Don't be rude. Dana White's cool. Asante was excellent in American Gangster. Yeah, he was. He's pretty good in every role he's in, but yes. They put Mike in Goodfellas. No, they didn't. Michael was not in Goodfellas. There was a person called Mike Franchise in Goodfellas, but it wasn't him. I guess they portrayed him for like a portion, but no, that's not what I'm kind of talking about here. I guess you're right in a way. That's true. I guess that's not really where I was going with that, though. So the guy I'm interviewing on Tuesday, the entire film is based on his life. He was the inspiration behind it. Some of the film and the plot was his life. It's not Travolta. No. Just send me an email, the sitdown777 at gmail.com. Sitdown777 at gmail.com. I would love an Al DiArco show. It's already been done. Guys, listen, it's before you come into the show and discuss that you want a show, make sure I haven't done it already. All you have to do is search the name you're looking for and the sit down on YouTube, and that'll tell you. I did Al DiArco like 2 or 3 months ago, probably. Thank you, Tony J. I appreciate that, brother. Wow, you remember Gearhart. That was his name, wasn't it? Holy hell. Good point, Vinny Boombot. Maybe you're Gearhart. I got a feeling you're Gearhart. I don't know. That guy, yeah, Gearhart. That was his fucking name, wasn't it? Holy shit. Samuel Gearhart was his name, I think. Hey, Sam, if you're out there, come hang out, bro. What's up, M. Coop? How are you, pal? Hope all is well. Sammy Gearhart. Yeah, that was his name. Holy hell. M. Coop, hope all is well with you, bro. Yeah, I ain't worried about people like that, man. Do you believe Michael Franzese killed people? Sal Misciata said he did in testimony. I'm asking the expert. Do I believe he killed people? No, I don't. But again, I wouldn't know for certain either. Just because Fat Sal Misciata says it doesn't mean it's true. I think anything, these guys say, I always say you got to take with a grain of salt. So, like, that's one of the reasons John Panisi's not a fan of me, because he said that he doesn't like that I said that about him. But I don't believe everything John Panisi says. Do I believe a lot of what John Panisi says? Sure. But if John Panisi says to me that Peter Tuccio is Joe Cafe's nephew, I believe it, but I'm also going to verify it. So I'm not going to just take him at his word. Do I think that, like, I included Sal Misciata. He talked a lot about Vinny Palermo's brother, who was a gangster. And I verified that with other sources. So do I believe Michael killed people? No, but we'll never know, because Michael will never talk about that. And he's smart because he doesn't want to go to prison. Murder is something that does not fall under the statute of limitations. So he's never going to admit that he killed anybody. 240 people in here. Welcome in. Thank you for watching. If you have anything to say, feel free to send in a comment. Feel free to send in a comment. I remember that dude. I was donating 10. He was donating 500 a pop. Yeah, that guy was something, bro. That guy was something. Great people. What up, Nicholas? How are you? No, he's not on Tuesday. No. Do I like Dave's Portnoy's pizza reviews? Of course I do. Dave's my boss. I love everything he does. But no, I truly do. I love watching pizza reviews. I watch them all the time. Would I do a video on Bindi Johal? Probably. Lenovo Wings Buffalo. Yes. Joe Tadaro. I'm very familiar. Sal Marciano says, do a show on Champagne Larry Carrazza. Speaking of Michael Francis, he knows all about that guy. That's not true. He didn't bust his head with a fire extinguisher. That happened when he was on the street. He did that for Fat Patty Catalano. He was duped by a drug dealer, Fat Patty, and Vito beat him with a fire extinguisher. It was at the social club of Fat Patty. That was not in prison. I've ever heard the show of Mike D'Elia, the only Italian American to join the Mexican mafia. No, but I'll look into him. I have not heard that. What do you actually do for a living? I'm a content creator. I work for a company called Barstool Sports. That's how I make my money. I've been doing that for a while now. Work from home, basically. Do you know why Joey Lombardo from Chicago got shelved? No, but I can look into it. Mike DeBella just keeps bringing the heat. Thank you, Mike. I don't know how to thank you enough. You're so giving. I'll tell you what, Mike, you're a giving dude, man. I don't think I've ever met someone as giving as you. That's super cool of you. By the way, guys, if you want the money to come right to me, you can also send me a Cash App. That's more helpful. We don't get the money right away from Super Chat, so I don't mind. If you want to send the money to me straight out, you can reach me at Cash App. I put that in the description of the video or in the chat here. Double G says, come to Florence, Colorado. That's BFE. Well, I hope I don't ever have to come to Florence because Florence is only known for one thing, and that is ADX. But what should I come to Florence for? Tell me more. Double G. San Quentin, Folsom, Pelican Bay are notorious. Well, so is High Desert. So are others. There are many. Corcoran, Pelican Bay is the shoe, obviously. You mentioned that. Tony Secca, $4.99. Thank you, Tony Secca. You're very kind. Thank you for showing love. You're a great dude, man. Thank you for watching. There's a lot of Hispanic gangsters in High Desert. Yeah, they have fights there all the time. That's where Lawrence Phillips was at. Lawrence Phillips is at High Desert. It's where he died. Chris Londonio is at Victorville. Yes, who was allegedly involved in the Michael Melda shit. Ryan Rodenkirch says, what's your favorite mobster movie, TV show, and who do you think they would be based off closest from the actual mobster? My favorite mobster movie is A Bronx Tale. My favorite TV show is Gomorrah. And who do I think they would be based off the closest from the actual mob? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I answered your other two questions. Good call on Gearhart. Thank you. Yeah. I actually didn't call it. Vinny Boombats did. Is it Frank Abengale? No, it's not Frank Abengale. No, I'd tell you. Right? Fair enough. What up, Joe Root? How are you, bro? He outbid me in many wars until I went to Cash App. Yes, you did go to Cash App. That's a good point. Appreciate that. M. Clark, hope you're good, buddy. Been a while since I caught a live. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well, bro. Thanks for watching. Who do I like in Bud Crawford against Errol Spence? I'll go with the kid from Omaha, BC. I didn't know if I should be happy that I'm alive or sad because my friends are dead. Yeah, it's one of the great lines from that film. Michael Franzese never killed anyone, but his father was the Terminator. Absolutely. His dad was a legend. Gyro Lamb says, I was watching a video of this Sereno gang member saying that he met Salvatore Merlino at FCI Fort Worth and that he was a cool cat who was very generous but tough. Yeah, I've actually seen that guy. I haven't watched that video, but I'm going to check it out. That would be pretty interesting. Um, I'll have to look into that. He said he would use his money to buy the guy's food and shoes and stuff. Yeah, I'll look into that. It definitely checks out. I know Nicky Scarfo did time down in that area at one point as well. There are serious Latin gangsters in high desert. They don't hesitate to blast the cops, I've read. No, those guys don't care. Yeah, but you can also become a captain by earning. I mean, Michael was earning millions of dollars per week at one point. Have you ever thought about how you would like to evolve over the next year? At some point, you will talk about all the mobsters. I don't know if I will. There's a lot of different people to talk about. But yeah, I mean, I've gotten into other content, so I'm going to keep doing that. And I know it'll be challenging. I might only get 5,000 views on a video, but I'm going to keep doing them. I think one of the favorite videos I've ever did was on a guy called Maurice Phillips. He was the real life inspiration for Stringer Bell in The Wire. I got 6,000 views to this day, and I did it over a year ago, but it doesn't matter to me because I love doing it. On my TikTok, I get to talk about whatever I want, which I really enjoy. People really like that. I can talk about black gangsters, Puerto Rican gangsters. It doesn't have to just be the mafia. And I think one of the big mistakes that I made at this channel was only doing gangsters for a long time because, no surprise, people started realizing that's all I did. And it put me into a corner. But I'm always going to do cartel things. I'm going to try to talk to other people. So hopefully people will join me and evolve with me. Bring Sammy the Bull on this show. Already did. We interviewed him about a year ago. You can check that out on my channel. It's got over 110,000 views, I think. Catch up, Mr. C. You're behind. No, I don't think he has, unfortunately. What's shaking, Pat? How are you, brother? How are you? Are planning on more collaborations with other creators? I think for the long-term success of the genre, creators need to work together. Something you've said before. I've tried to. I've definitely put my olive branch out to OC, and RJ doesn't. I've tried calling him. He doesn't return my calls. I don't know. I guess he's upset with me for some reason, but I always would like to. I mean, I love everybody in this genre. I did a video interview with Lee before, and I'm actually doing some collaboration with a guy called Ian Bick. He's a content creator. He does some prison content. I have him coming on the show. I'm actually going to see him in New York next week. I'm trying to work on doing something with Annie Elise. She's one of the best true crime content creators. We're going to do something at some point, hopefully. I've talked to some of her people. But yeah, I mean, that's the goal. You evolve, do things. So yeah, for sure. Have ever corresponded or talked to Michael Franzese? No, I haven't. He's one of the only people I haven't spoken to. I have a connect to him that I'm working on doing an in-person thing with. That I might speak to him at some point, but I have a stoke in the fire with Michael, but I've not directly talked to him yet. No. Southie in the house. What up, Southie? How are you? So yeah, I have a lot of stokes in the fire everywhere. Kareem Al Sabor says, checking in on the clock. What up, Kareem? What's going on with you, man? Assalamu alaikum, man. Welcome in. I always try to be respectful. And I'm guessing, Kareem, you are Muslim. So I'm going to say assalamu alaikum to you. And I hope you will respond with wa alaikum assalam. The Quran is such an interesting book, man. I read it before bed a lot. Muslims, man, are very interesting people. That religion is so interesting. Very religious people. I want to go to Dubai so bad. I want to go to the Middle East. That's probably the top of my list to travel to. Afghanistan is like at the top of my list. I would love to go to Afghanistan. Someday I'll go there, maybe in the next 5 years, but that's at the top of my list. I know people look at me and say you're nuts, but Afghanistan gets a really bad rap in the media. It's actually a beautiful country, and it's actually changed a lot since we've left. There's a great travel blogger on YouTube called Mary Jane. She's one of the best YouTubers for travel. And she has said on record that Afghanistan is her favorite country to travel to. It's not easy to get to, but it's a very beautiful country. It's aesthetically beautiful. The people are beautiful. Um, I I would be over the moon to see something like that with my own eyes. And it sucks because like I'm not Muslim. I've read the Quran and I know it well. I want to go to Mecca so bad. I just want to see that with my own eyes, in real life. The Hajj, right? Like that's just seeing people take that pilgrimage is just fucking so beautiful to me. All the sea of people, it's crazy. I would love to see that. I'd love to go to Jerusalem, to be honest. All those old biblical places. There's so many beautiful places in the world. The shame we're only staying in one or two of them. That's one thing I'll do in my later life is get to different places. I've always said my end game for all this, guys. I've told you my end game is at 40, I want to move abroad. That's my goal. That's why I'm trying to stay single, because I want to find my Apollonia in Italy. That's my goal. And what we'll do is we'll do TikTok, her and I. We'll do like Jeff, who's an American living with Mariella, who's from Naples. We'll go to Posilipo, hang out. Oh, why you? It'd be great. That's my goal in life. So we'll see. That's why I'm saying single. Michael Belmonte. Thank you, Michael. We got more of it coming on Saturday. What is my opinion on Dom Sakali? He's a great guy. Interviewed him. Did really well. I talk to him pretty regularly. Dom's a great guy. Big fan. Devilos is the channel. Okay, I'll check that out. Check that. I'll take a look. I'll check it out. What's up, Louis Tropia? How are you, buddy? Well, let me know if you can ever get me in. I would love to go in there. Bona Fortuna with your new home. I love how you worded that. It looks like you have a boner for tuna. Thank you, Lahaim. I mean, it means well. Thank you. You have an amazing way of delivering content. All you need is one big name in each category and you will blow. That's the goal, man. Keep leveling up, man. But all right, guys, I'm going to look to start wrapping it up. Let me get through a couple of other comments here, and then we're going to get on out. We're going to tip on out. If you'd like to participate and show love to the channel, please hit the like button. You can also send me a super chat or send me a Cash App as well. I don't have the Cash Apps in front of me, so if anybody sent me one, I do appreciate it, and I'll get back to you when I see it in a few moments here. Thanks, Mike D. Welcome in, man. Thanks for the love. Well, it would be interesting if they did a crime count where content creators and people that love a genre come and meet, greet, and talk all things about crime and criminals. Well, maybe I'll do that. It's not a bad idea, actually. Rich M, let me know. Joe Guccione, ex-owner of Penthouse Magazine, is Vinny Ocean's partner with strip clubs. No shit. I'll have to look into that. Double G says, damn, I thought you and RJ were cool. I don't really put anybody's business out there, but yeah, he stopped answering my calls about a month or two ago. I don't, we had a little bit of a disagreement with something, and I thought that we would kind of be able to fix it, but I've attempted, but he hasn't reached out. So I don't know. He'll occasionally tweet me or comment, but he doesn't answer my texts or calls. So I don't really know. It sucks because I love RJ. He's a great guy. He's a friend, and he may not think the same about me, but hopefully he'll contact me. That's all I can say. But I don't push it either. He has his reasons, I guess, and that's fine. But I think the world of him, and I hope he continues to kill it. I'm always here for him if he needs me. I don't hold any grudge. Afghanistan is cool. They have an interesting history. Nobody talks about just the terror stuff. It's sad, man. It is such a beautiful country, man. So beautiful. Iran under the Shah was beautiful at one point too. Yeah, all those countries are beautiful, man. All those countries are beautiful. Yeah, Niall, all due respect, man. I don't, I don't want to talk, about religion. I just really kind of want to talk about, just saying hello to him. Russia is beautiful. Just don't travel with hash in a pipe. Yeah, you know where I would love to go to in Russia? Chechnya, the Dagestan, those areas, also beautiful. I love like old school culture. They have it in Albania. A lot of the mountain towns are still like very old school. I love that kind of stuff. I would love to go to those villages, like where like Habib and you know Islam Makhachev are from and Hezbollah, those places. Super interesting. Like, take me to Mahachkala in Dagestan, and I'm good. Damascus is an interesting city to visit. Yeah, it is. Very historical as well. What's up, Lewis? I'm glad you're well, bro. Breadstick and a bow tie. Yeah, that's a great rant by a Jip Rossetti. My brother-in-law drove for Jimmy Knapp mid 80s. Jimmy died early 90s. Yeah, his sons were nice people as well. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, he's a great character. He won an Emmy, I believe, for that. Oh yeah, absolutely. He was in Oz. A lot of people don't know that either. Did you know that, Gyro? He was in one or two episodes late in season 6. He was a character called Antonio, I believe. He was a gay club owner who seduces Alvarez towards the end of the show. Remember, he had the drugs. He was giving them to people. What was his name in the fucking show, man? I gotta look that up, or I'm gonna drive myself crazy. I forget. I'm usually good with names, but now I forget. Let me look his name up. Hold on a sec. Where the fuck is it? Alonzo Torquemada. Torquemada. Yes, that was it. Thanks, bro. Gene got 4 months added to his sentence. He'll be out in fall. Did I know your uncle Nicky Cowboy Mormondo? Yes, I know who he is. I didn't know he was your uncle. Wow. It's pretty interesting. All right, Vinny. See you, bro. Yeah, Oz is a great show. Maybe someday, Rich. I don't know if I can come on every day, but all right, guys. I'm out. This was a fun show, man. We usually don't stay on more than an hour, but this was fun. I had a great time. Thank you for watching. This is what live should be, guys. If we could have every live like this, I'd be over the moon. This was really fun. I appreciate all of your love, participation, involvement, super chats, whatever. Means so much. This was awesome. So if we could every Thursday at 2:15 have a live like this, I'd be over the moon. I'd be here every week. This was fun. Let's do it again next week. What do you think? 2:15. Actually, next week I can't do it. Next Friday I'll do it. I'm going to New York next Wednesday to Thursday. So next Friday we'll do a live. Next Friday afternoon. So I start one thing and now I'm now already changing it. But I have to go to New York next week. So I'll be on my way home by then. So next Friday we'll do a live. Next Friday at 2:00. Go figure. But yeah, I'll be in New York from Wednesday to Thursday at Barstool. So that'll be fun. So I see you all soon. New video out Saturday. Later.